Hey everybody, Mr. Regan here, and today we're going to be looking at how you're going to be completing your newt modeling activity, where we're going to be showcasing how our newt population is changing and how their poison levels are becoming more poisonous over time. Now, before we get into it, a few key points. Number one, we are looking to use this model to show what's happening from the newt's perspective during each of the three chapters. So what's going to happen is you're essentially going to be creating three different models. And as we complete each of the chapters, your model is going to change. What you put into the model, how you show and represent things in the model, and what images and information you put into the model will change as we complete each of the three chapters. Now, before we get into the actual, how do I go about doing this, I want to point out as well some important things within the slideshow and what the overall focus will be as we complete the assignment. So first and foremost, you started by answering the big focus question about our newts. Why are the newts becoming more poisonous over time? Hopefully in this response, if someone was to look at it, they would be able to see a good portion of our vocabulary. Hopefully they were able to see how you identified a cause and effect relationship. Hopefully we see how you're using your focus idea and your key concepts to answer this question. This question and this response is where you put your initial ideas down as to why you think the newts are becoming poisonous. This can change at any point. You can fix this, you can edit this, you can constantly make changes to this. This is not stuck in stone. So I implore you that as we go through each of these chapters, you take time to revise this, to add in new ideas, to add in new things to help explain why the newts are becoming more poisonous. But this is your initial idea that you're going to use to create a model with. Essentially, you're going to figure out, how am I going to turn my words into an image that showcases all of my ideas? And we're going to look at how we do that. So as you go through this, there are some how-to videos here that you can click on. And when you click on these videos, they're going to help explain different things that will help you complete your model. But let's go ahead and look at the next couple slides. If you notice here, we have a chapter 1 slide with our model. We have a stop and check in with your teacher, a chapter 2, a stop and check in with your teacher, and then a chapter 3. Notice we are going to be completing a model after each chapter is complete. So we recently finished chapter 1, so we're going to be completing our chapter 1 model, and then you'll check in with me before we obviously move on. So let's go ahead and take a look at what this model is all about. So if you notice here, we have a before and after model. We have this distant past, which kind of showcases our newts with our different poison levels in there. You can kind of see using our meter here, what their poison level is. And then we have present day, what our newt population looks like with their poison levels. Again, looking at that poison meter, showing they're kind of high with a few mediums in there. Your job is going to be to use this middle section to add in pictures, different icons, different shapes, arrows, lines, text boxes, everything and anything you need to create a model that shows why our newts are changing over time. Now, obviously, I'm using my speaker bar to move this up and down so that I can zoom in and zoom out, and I can add things in as I go. But when I did this, you'll notice that there's a reflection here as well. This reflection will need to be completed after you create your model to kind of get you thinking about, what did I do well? What do I need to improve on? What are some things that maybe I would like to check in with the teacher on, or things that I can definitely have some feedback on? So this is your model, and in here you're going to be obviously looking to add different features, lines, arrows, shapes, images that are going to showcase your ideas and what you put in here as to why our newt's population is changing and why their poison level is changing over time. So at this point, now that we've looked at all the features, your job is to hop into here and to complete the survey. Do we feel like we understand how to complete this whole modeling project? Do we understand the difference between completing the chapter 1 model versus the 2 versus the 3? Do we understand how we're going to be adding pictures, shapes, lines, all that kind of stuff in there? Do we understand that we need to complete the reflection at the end of the model itself? If you feel like you understand all of those sort of things, go ahead and put an X in your green section. If you feel like one of those things doesn't quite make sense, or you have questions about them, or you want to double check some things, maybe figure out which one you're not quite certain on and put your X in the yellow section. If this is all a little confusing and you're like, modeling, what's a model? Go ahead and put your X in the red. Either way, if you put your X in yellow or red, check in with your teacher. And from here, we'll figure out how to make sense of it all and make sure you're on the right path for creating this model. This will be something we complete over time. So definitely make sure you have this at all times and don't get rid of it on accident. If you have questions right off the bat, reach out. Otherwise, what we're going to do next is we're going to have you check out some of our guide videos. And when you feel you're ready to take your words and create a model with them, go ahead and jump into the chapter 1 section and create your model. Again, check in if you need help or have questions. Otherwise, good luck.